Welcome to this collection of tutorials that's going to show you how to use HTML, CSS, and JavaScript to create web pages. This video and all videos in the tutorial collection are going to be best viewed in high def, either 1080 or 720. And in case you don't know how to make sure that you have or you're seeing it in HDef and how to get there if you don't, here's how you do it. If you see by this little gear, this is your YouTube viewport. If you see, or YouTube window, you can call it whatever you want. If you have a gear and you see this little red HD flag over it, then you're watching it in HD, and that's great. But if you see that, you're not, and the video is going to be a lot fuzzier. So in order to get to HD, the first thing you're going to want to do is you see this little gear, you're going to want to click that. When you click that, you'll get a menu that looks something like this. You go to the quality part right there, and you want to click the quality part, and that's going to give you a menu that looks something like this. You notice that there are two HD options, 1080 and 720. Select the one you want. If you have a monitor that'll handle it, I would prefer, or I would think you would prefer 1080. So once you do that and you select HDef, it may take YouTube a second or two to adjust, but then you'll be to high def and you'll see the HD flag and you'll know you're watching it in HD. So that applies to this video, but it applies to all the other videos you'll see as well. Now, about that HTML, CSS, and JavaScript thing we talked about. These three together allow you to create web pages on the browser side. Stuff that controls what's on the page, what it looks like, interactions, that kind of thing. So you'll be able to do all of this on your own computer. Of course, you'll need an internet connection to watch the videos and get other resources, but on your own machine, you'll be able to create web pages and look at them. So here we have HTML. What does that do? Well, that puts elements on the page. Those are the things that people are going to look at. CSS allows you to style your page, use colors and fonts and that sort of thing. And JavaScript will allow you to create interactions with the user. Now, just using HTML, you could have links and click those, but the interactions that you get with JavaScript are much more sophisticated than that. So one other thing you might want to know how to do when you're working on this is that instead of, you're not going to click and get these things off the web, you'll be creating things with these three elements, but you'll want to be able to load them into your browser. And the way you do that, I'm just going to create a new tab. The way you do that, I'm going to hold down the control key on my keyboard and O, and you'll notice that that comes up. And if I move up to here, I'll just bring in something that is already here on the page, something that's going to look ugly, got to warn you. I'll click that and open, and hey, here it is. It says here is text in the body of the page. Yellow on white is horrible. Don't ever do this. This is just a demonstration. That's all. There, that makes it look better, doesn't it? So Control, hold that down, and then the O key. Now, if you're on a Mac, instead you'll press Command O, or I should say Command O. I'm not talking about a Special Forces person. I'm talking about holding down the Command key in Mac and then pressing the O key, and you'll get something like that that pops up, and you can pick what it is that you want to load into the browser from your own computer. One last thing I'd like to do is kind of give you an example. If we come back to here, is to give you an example of what each of these things can do. So this is a page that's just using HTML. Not very interesting. I could put more text and stuff on it, but it still wouldn't be that appealing. Now CSS allows us to do things like give the text different color, give the background a different color. And then if we add JavaScript, you notice that we have the the element on the page. This came from the HTML here. We have the coloring that came from CSS, and now we have interactivity. Clicking this button flips the colors, and that's just one of many things that JavaScript could do. One other thing now before we close this particular video is that up here in a minute you're going to see something come up. In the other videos that you see, you'll actually see two little things come up. One, if you click it, will get you back to this introduction video. The other one, if you click it, and it'll be right up here somewhere, will allow you to access extra resources for the tutorial that you're working on. Now up here, you're going to see something come up in just a minute, and that is going to take you to a place where you can get links to all of the other tutorials. Oh, here it is. Click that and you'll get to go. It'll take you to a page that gives you all the other tutorials.